What's up, everybody? Welcome to part 2 of my ultimate Dreamcast build. Hope you guys are all doing well, the few of you that are already here. So yeah, this is a continuation of a stream I did about 3 weeks ago, give or take, where I started building this little Dreamcast right here, and I think we half-ass installed the PSU, a few transistors and some a battery and some lights, stuff like that. Just a few little things. Did a lot of prep work before we jump right into this. But I didn't have all the parts at that point in time. And one of the big parts I was waiting, not really a big part, but a part I needed before I could move much more, was the fan mod. I'm modding this Dreamcast. We are going to be modding everything in it. We're installing a new PSU, which is a power supply, a smaller, more efficient power supply, a GDEMU emulation board to where it will no longer have a disk drive, but I'll use a SD card, and you can pretty much put every single Dreamcast game ever on one card and just have it there. So it's more or less an all-digital going to be an all-digital console. One of the big mods that we're doing is the HDMI mod, and not just like I have here, and I'll show a little bit more in a moment. I'm also working on a Saturn. I have this board that I've somewhat kind of put together. There's HDMI right there. This is for my Saturn I'm going to be working on, which is over there. And I'm going to put an HDMI plug on it. However, the difference in this and what we're doing here is that this board is just converting a RF signal, like a red, white, yellow, really just yellow is the video signal, but the traditional RCA cable signal to an HDMI. Now that's for the Saturn, because there's not a mod beyond that, and I didn't really want to get too deep into it. However, with this one, we are doing an actual mod that we will be getting a true 1080p signal from the Dreamcast to, this is going to be an actual 1080p HDMI signal that comes off of this thing. So that's cool. That is one of the main things we're going to be doing today. I was waiting on that mod last time as well, and I have it now. This is the mod that I am most scared about, because I can really damage the system with this if I do it incorrectly. And I've never done this particular mod. I'll have to do some, I think I'm going to have to do something called drag soldering. Never done that. My soldering skills have been improving for sure. I'm much better than I used to be. Have a lot more confidence in it, but drag soldering is one of the more difficult things. What's up, Nick? Chip is so small. Yeah, that's this little board here. It's just a convert. It's just a simple converter from AV to HDMI. But that's a thing of my own. Well, partially my own making. But yeah, the HDMI mod, we're going to look at that here in just a minute. Today, we are not going to be doing the GDEMU mod because I don't have it yet. That fucker is taking forever to get here. I actually went ahead and ordered another one, because the one I ordered was coming from China, and it was taking forever, and still not here. I ordered it in July. I think around the beginning of July. It shipped July 21st. Here we are, one day away from September, and there's no progress. It says it is shipped. It's going through customs. Now, anytime you get something from China here in the States, it takes a long fucking time to go through customs and all that. I understood that, but damn, I didn't think it was going to take this long. It does say that it should be here by September 21st. I didn't really want to wait, and I actually have 5 more Dreamcasts over here in the corner that are damaged that I purchased in a lot. So if this goes over well and people show an interest in purchasing these, I will probably do this or similar modifications to these Dreamcasts and sell them from there. But those are just over there waiting, because all I really need out of it is the motherboard. Maybe a couple other little pieces here or there, but that's the main component I need. And they're all Gen 1 Dreamcast 2, which you can modify Gen 2 and 3 and 0. I'm not sure what the 0 gen is. but there is one. But the one on the bottom where it says 1, which I'll show you guys in a minute, I showed it in my last video like this I did. It is the easiest and it's the most agreeable one to mod. But so yeah, we're going to be doing that. We're going to also, I'm replacing, I didn't have this last time either. I got a new light for the light on here. I'm going to go with green instead of the amber that came with it originally. I do have the fan mod, which is not really difficult to do from what I've seen. And I think I had something else. I had another thing. I'm not sure. I'll have to get to it. We already started the install of the case, which we're going to take a look here in just a moment. The old case is gone. I'll grab that. So here's the old case. This is what the Dreamcast that we're using modding now originally came in. There's some of the parts. We have like the and this Dreamcast, to be as dirty as it is, it doesn't show up on camera as much. But it is a beat up Dreamcast, and I was really expecting it to be really nasty on the inside. It's extremely clean on the inside, so that's good. But here's the power supply for the Dreamcast. This is the factory power supply. The one we're getting is about half, or the one we've installed is about half the size of this, and it weighs nowhere near as much. There's nowhere near as many components on it. This works, so I could actually sell this for someone who just wants a regular one. But this is the disk drive for this particular disk drive. Did not work. I still am interested in disassembling this and seeing if I can figure out what's wrong with it. But it is not working. It's doing some weird shit. I've seen disk drives from Dreamcast that the laser is going bad, but this one's doing something else. It is physically moving up, and it's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to go this way and that way, and that's it. It, like, I've looked at it when you open it, it just physically pops up, like it pokes its head up, which is really odd. But this does not work as of right now. Here's the fan, the original fan from the Dreamcast, itty bitty thing that we're going to be replacing today as well. So, but what I wanted to show, and I did show this in my last stream, but for those of you that were interested, and let's switch camera angles so you can see better. So, something just fell out. I don't know what that was, but anyway, if you look here, here's our new case, by the way. But if you look here on the, whoops, pieces just falling out all over the place. On the bottom of the Dreamcast, you'll see right there that number. Actually, you know what would be even better? This look. On the bottom of the Dreamcast, you'll see that you have this sticker that has all of its information. Right here next to the NTSC logo, there's a circle with that 1. This is the most preferred model, the 1. That shows what model or generation, if you will, this Dreamcast is. The 1 is the one that is easiest to mod. Now there's lots of ones out there, but like this is my other one. This is my factory Dreamcast that actually works fine. Where is it? There it is. As you'll see, there is a 2. See to focus. There's a 2 on this one. This one should focus better. This one is not as easy to mod. Possible, yes, but not as easy because this is a Generation 2. There's a few different things, some of just very slight differences in the components and some of the firmware and stuff like that is why this one is harder to mod for. But this is still a good working console. Laser and everything works for it. This is my just my factory, straight up factory. Well, the only thing I changed in it was I replaced, it does have the battery mod that we've already done to this one in it. But beyond that, this is straight factory Dreamcast. Okay, so yeah, all right, so out with the laser. This is the whole disk drive assembly, no more. This system is not going to have that. And the fan, the PSU power supply. That. And the shell. So like I said, what's up, Fright Films? How you doing, my man? So like I said, today we are going to be doing this mod. It's called the DC HDMI from Bitfunks. And you can get, this is not a cheap mod. And the thing that sucks the most about it is this is one of the, either the first or second, with this particular build, because I happen to get the GDEMU for a good price. For the price that the GDEMU, the emulation board that I'm waiting on that we're going to be getting, the price it usually runs, it runs about the same amount as this mod. This mod is quite possibly the most expensive part of this entire mod. Depending on how much you spend on the GDEMU. But this thing runs, this is a few $100s. This is like 200, I'd have to look how much I spent for it, but it's in the $200, $250 range, somewhere like that. You can get it a little bit cheaper here or there, and as you'll see in a few minutes, it's not much. But there's a ribbon cable that we have to make many small soldering, solder to some points that is, yeah, that's, I'm anxious about that. So we'll see how that works out. I also have this little, which you can't see it very well there, but this little light, it's a green light, which I mentioned a moment ago. And our fan mod, which the mod is actually right there. It's a bunch of pieces, 3D printed pieces, but the actual fan right here is what we're going to be putting into it. It's a NFA4 or X10 5-volt 40 by 10 millimeter premium fan from Noctua. So all these, like I said, when I first started this project a little bit ago, we're going to be replacing pretty much every single piece of this thing except for the motherboard and parts of that. I also, on the side note, depending on how quick this goes, if this happens to go quick, which I hope it does, and I hope it's like, oh, that was a lot easier than I planned, I have this, which is a laser replacement for my Saturn, because my Saturn's laser has started to go out. I'll be playing it. If I play it for a period of time, it will start saying that there's laser issues and the game will freeze. So I got that. Plus, I've got this HDMI mod that I've been building and putting together. So we'll see how that goes. I doubt I'll do the HDMI mod today because I actually needed some wire I ordered and I just got that in, so it's kind of all up in the air. But let's focus on this Dreamcast because that's what we're working on today. Let's turn our light on there. Oh yeah, I am not gonna lie to you guys. I know I've said it a few times now. I am nervous about this, and I am also not playing that up at all. I truly am nervous about this. I want to do it and get it done, but I've never done this type of soldering, and I'm gonna see if I don't have to do drag soldering to do this. I'm not going to, because everything I've read about it and seen about it, I mean, if you can do it, great, it's awesome, but man, you can damage this ribbon cable and it costs so much. I'm really fucking paranoid. Let me turn my fan away from me so it doesn't cool my soldering iron off. Okay, so yeah, now I can get real good and hot under all these lights and soldering iron. Let's turn the soldering iron on. Let that warm up while we get ready. Now, like I said, I'm still kind of new to soldering. I didn't solder for years because I was always so afraid, because I just wasn't good at it. And because soldering is one of those things that you just don't pick up. You have to, you get better over time. So I was just terrible at it, and I wouldn't ever give it a chance to get better. But now in the past few months doing repairs and stuff like that, I've gotten more into it. All right, so let's take a closer look at what we got here and start moving some things around the table here so we can get to work. There we go. I'm gonna move that out of the way for a minute. Let's turn that light off for now. Okay, so this is our Dreamcast. This is the case that we started with the other day, well, a few weeks ago. And I did go with the smoked black case overall. It replaced every single part of it, even the modem, which we We switched that over last time. We don't need this top right now, so I'm going to move it over to the side. I do have some custom Dreamcast logos too, and we'll decide which one we're going to go to when we get to the end. This is the PSU or power supply, these two pieces here. This replaces that big one. For comparison, here's the original power supply. You see this big chunky boy, and it's got some weight to it. And this is the new one. It's just these two pieces that clip together like so. So as you can see, it's quite the size difference. You're saving a lot of space in there, and also just look how much smaller it is in comparison. This just shows, this is just updated tech. This shows how far we've come with tech. I mean, you got all these big, huge resistors and everything on this thing, and this one is just better all around. And look, it's an itty bitty thing. So I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, this out of here. Now this works just fine. Now when you add in the GDEMU to this, it derives a bit more power, and you could run into heat issues. So it is suggested you do one of these upgraded power supplies if you're going to do that. If you're not, this is fine. This works just fine. This power supply is working. This is a perfectly fine power supply. So if you're not planning on doing anything like a GDEMU or anything like that, there's no reason besides just wanting to do it. Now, this isn't a hard mod to do either, FYI. Well, it wasn't so far. We're not done with it. But yeah, there's not really much of a reason if your power supply is working to move over to this unless you're modding. Just FYI. Alrighty, so from there, we also have our control board here. We did this last time, if any of you remember. And this was where we replaced, let me get my little pointer here. That's not it. Here we go. We replaced this battery. This was a soldered to the board battery on the Dreamcast. This is one of the biggest issues Dreamcasts have, and typically if you have a Dreamcast now, I guarantee this is not working. So I would strongly suggest this mod. It's only a few dollars, but when you do it, you also have to replace this transistor right here and this, I think it was this capacitor. And with the light, we're going to replace this light right here, this LED, with this green one, because I'm going for like a black and green motif. You'll see it came with a transistor as well, but we've already put that one in. So you would need to replace this one. We also replaced this transistor, or what is it? Resistor right here. I can't remember why we did that. I think it had something to do with the light. I cannot remember, but yeah, we replaced this. We're going to replace this today, and this whole situation here. So everything else is factory on this board. This is where the controllers plug in. Oh, by the way, I did want to point out, I do have, before we go any further, I wanted to show you guys something. Just a second. Now, those of you that tuned in last time I was doing this will recall that I was working on a mod, like a custom modded controller for the Dreamcast, where I was essentially trying to take similar in form factor to a more modern Xbox controller, because it's a very comfortable controller, and fit a Dreamcast controller within that. And I was going to 3D print my own and all this and that. Still doing that, but that's taking some time. And just to move things along, I found a controller that is made by a company called Retro Fighters or Retrobit. I think it's Retro Fighters. And they pretty much did that. Now, I'm hard-headed, so I kind of still want to make my own because I have a few of my own design choices I'd like to do. And that's an ongoing project. That'll be a while. But for now, for this, I believe this is going... I have not actually tried it yet. I think this is going to become my new Dreamcast controller, and if I end up selling these to the public, I'll include this controller with it, and it's this one. It's called the Retro Fighter, or Retro Fighters, I'm sorry. It comes in a bunch of different colors, but as you can see, it very much has that more modern look to it. and feel. It doesn't have that big bulky feel. You get bumpers and triggers with it. You can still you still have 2 spots for the VMU and any kind of rumble or microphone or anything like that. So it retains all the same functionality of a Dreamcast controller, but in a better form factor. Has a really nice feeling stick. Not quite as, not as much resistance as I'd like, but the Dreamcast never had a lot of resistance in its controller anyway. So it's fine. Got a nice click. Everything about it I really do like. It's very light. I'm really interested in opening this up and seeing how they fit it inside of here, if they made their own PCB board or if they did take an actual Dreamcast board and somehow shave it. That'll help me with my project. But yeah, there it is. That's the Retro Fighters. There we go. Controller this is more or less the direction I was going with mine. Only thing I would do different is I was wanting to eliminate one of these inputs, one of these big bulky slots on the back, and build rumble directly into the controller. That's the only thing that I wanted to do differently, and just to slim up the entire design. Really, that's it. But yeah, that's the controller there that I'm going to be. This is becoming my new Dreamcast controller until I create my own, of course. And it is an actual Dreamcast controller. It has the plug and everything. That is what this is made specifically for Dreamcast. It's not some type of like all-purpose controller. And VMUs, everything fits into it. That is one thing I do like. It is everything. It retains all the functionality of the original controller with those weird things that fit into it and everything. Let's take a look at the chat real quick before we go any further. Looks like Antonio's here. What's up, Antonio? Said he's in the workshop this afternoon. Yeah, I get. I'm actually in the exact same spot I am when I stream any other time. This table right here is usually over there. It's usually off to the side of this, and you guys don't see it. So all I do is take it and move it over here, plug in a few things, and add a couple of cameras. I've had this camera above me for a while. Fright Films. Are you fried? Frank is here. What is up, Frank? Hey everyone. Hope y'all are having a banging Tuesday. I'm having a pretty good Tuesday, honestly. I'm well ahead. I got my show ready for tomorrow. All you guys check out the Almost Awesome Show, episode 15, which will be tomorrow at 2 o'clock my time, which is a little bit later than this show. This is 1 o'clock my time, 2 o'clock my time tomorrow. I got some pretty cool stories to talk about tomorrow. The screen is a bit further away than usual, so I'm having to squint. Cleaned out my PS4 last night, and this thing is running like it's brand new. It's been put away for some years because it sounded like a rocket ship. Yeah, the PS4, I never owned one, but I've heard them. They sound like aircraft carriers, or like a jet taking off from an aircraft carrier. That thing was loud. Frank says, my PS4 still sounds like a rocket ship. Yep, see? It's not just me. I'm not PlayStation hating either. Even though there's a lot of hate you could throw at PlayStation this generation. Just saying. They've been doing some fucked up things this past generation. They just raised the price of their PS5 2 years after it came out. What the fuck is that about? Anyway. And, but I'm going to talk about this tomorrow briefly, but if any of you that do watch my show and saw how I talked about that PS5 price increase, and I said, you know, it's normal to lose money on your consoles, and every manufacturer loses money on the consoles, especially at first, and then they make it up on software. I was wrong. I mean, yes, that is true. That is the norm. But PlayStation had already put out there that they made a profit of like $50 on every single PlayStation non-digital, the disc drive version. Every PlayStation disc drive version they sold, they were making a profit of $50. So they were making a fucking profit out the gate already. And they still are. Or they were, and they made enough of a profit that they can't subsidize that. So they can't just make that work. No, they got to raise the price now. So these motherfuckers are greedy as fuck, in my opinion. Already making a goddamn profit. The fuck? Plus, I mean, maybe if you stopped spending all this money, or like paying developers to like third-party developers to only release games on your console to keep them off, gatekeep them off of like other platforms like Game Pass and stuff, and just let shit come the fuck out and people play it where they want, maybe then you wouldn't need to raise the price of your fucking console. Just throwing that out there. That's my armchair 2 cents. All right, let's talk about the Dreamcast, though. Frank, you can fix it. It's clogged heatsink with dirty fan. Yes, a dirty fan will definitely make things louder. This is definitely major day. Just looks more Xbox like. It is. That is very much. There's a reason that many of these third-party controllers and like custom controllers and stuff kind of adopt that more Xbox 360 One and Series look and feel. I'm not throwing shade, if you will, at the PlayStation controllers, but that Xbox controller is pretty damn near perfect. Say what you will about the console, the games, and all that shit. Put all that aside. That controller it's on point. That's a very comfortable controller. It does everything you need very well and very solidly. And there's a reason everybody kind of adopt. Look at Nintendo. Their fucking Pro controller for the Switch that they sold, the straight up like actual controller, it looks like a fucking Xbox controller. Glad you're doing well. Jacob Dreamcast was always underrated to me. It absolutely was. It was huge when it first came out. And then the PlayStation 2, the hype of the PlayStation 2 didn't even kill the Dreamcast. The hype of the PlayStation 2 killed the Dreamcast. Saw that. So there was... Do what? I saw the 4 was still 300 even. Oh, I don't know what the 4 is going for. But I know that they raised the price everywhere but America. Kind of. I did see somebody make a really good point about the price in America. They said that they're not raising the price in America, and the reason is because that's where their stiffest competition is. But they kind of have. Another YouTuber made a good point. The only way you can buy the PS5 in America right now, and it's not like this in other countries, is their bundle, their Horizon Forbidden West bundle. Which, yeah, you're getting a game with it, and that's cool. And from what I understand, a good game. And that is good. But they are forcing you to pay extra for this. What if you don't want that game? I mean, they're forcing you to buy this shit anyway. And I think it's a digital version. So that ain't really costing them much. But who am I? I don't know. It may be the physical. I might be wrong on that. What's up, Ryan? How are you doing, my friend? Hopefully you're getting some... more sleep at night as time goes on with your little one at home. Hopefully that's starting to subside. I know it can't I can't be that old at this point. I think you said it was he, right? I don't want to say it, but you know, your child is not that old at this point, but still, I will say I am a veteran of having children. It gets easier. They start to sleep throughout the night. It's much nicer. Ryan, what's up? Yeah. Next, you see Jacob flying to another country with new PS4 aircraft. Yeah, that thing sounded like it would take off and fly you to another country. Okay, let's jump back into this thing and take a closer look. That's too close. There we go. Let's start with this view, and then we'll move on to the other. Plus, I got to get things a little bit ready over here. All right, so this is... where we left off, I think. Oh, yeah, we don't need this anymore. Well, we are going to put the light in here. We may do that first. I don't know. We'll see. Start slow. Oh, yeah. I didn't put all this back in. This is the motherboard. Just going to leave that shielding there. I don't know what that was, but it is gone now. It's some kind of funk. It's kind of wet right in there, which I know that's interesting. I'm going to clean all this off before I put it back together anyway, but this is our motherboard. Let's move this off to the side for the moment. That may be flux. I think this is where I just put flux on it. I don't think I put anything directly on the board last time, did I? I don't remember. Whatever. But yeah, this is our motherboard. This light is going there. This is our fan mod. This actually goes to the case, so we'll do that last because that's as we build up. To give you an idea of the fan, well, not an idea, to just show you the fan. this is the fan. It's replacing, well, the other one's over there. This is a much larger fan. But it's, while it is larger, it's actually quieter, from what they say. Because for those of you, speaking of loud consoles, the Dreamcast is loud as shit. And it's loud straight out of the box. I remember that from back in the day when it was new. Opening that thing and turning it on, brand new, on September, what was it? September 9th, 2001? No, 1999. September 9th, 1999. So 9999, that's what it was. I remember opening that thing and hooking it up, and I don't know, it's just every move it makes, everything that moves in that console is loud. The fan was loud, the fucking disk drive was, sounded like a goddamn saw going off all the time, so yeah. Our PSU, we're going to install this last. So yeah, I'm kind of being forced here to do the HDMI. I'm kind of being forced to do the HDMI mod first. So yeah, we're going to do that, I guess. Let's jump into the part that I was most scared about and that I was trying to avoid is what we have to do first. Yay. Well, I guess, you know, it makes sense because let's go ahead and get, if we're gonna fuck it up and not have to go any further, let's go ahead and do it. So yeah, this is it. So let's go ahead and break this bad boy out, our HDMI mod. There's not a lot to this thing, honestly, and I do have a little instruction book here, and I am going to follow it to a degree. While I know how to do this, I never said I could do it successfully. So, but hey, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure this goes properly. I'm gonna show you guys all these parts. I'm just trying to get them out of this box. Okie dokie. I do not recommend trying this at home, with my skill set at least. If you have the skill set to do this, go for it. This is a highly sought after mod, by the way, because it is difficult to do. Alright, so we have this little template here. I'm not sure what that's for. We'll get to that. It's hard to see, I think, but it's a sticker. Maybe if I turn this on. Nope, that makes it harder to see. But it's like this little sticker that is the shape of the board. Let's see. There you go. You can see it a little bit better there. I don't know what that's for. Let's set that aside for now. We have the actual board, which this part's not hard. The board is pretty easy. It just drops in. You guys have to promise me if I fuck this up, you don't laugh. Just keep it to yourselves, because there is a really good chance that I will fuck this up. And if I get to a point where I'm just like, my confidence far outweighs my curiosity, I'll just stop. But I know me, and I'm pretty hard-headed, and I'm going to be like, I can do it! Shit, can I get this open, though? Let's just tear this shit. Jesus. So there's the board. This is a custom board, a custom PCI. This is the, as you can see, right, where's my pointer? As you can see right there, here's the HDMI out. Now this is a mini HDMI, and it comes with this little mini HDMI to HDMI 2.0 adapter to put on the back. I don't like that, so they have cords, wires, that you can order that I'm going to order one that just are regular HDMI 2 mini. But it is the signal is still HDMI. They just, for whatever reason, I guess it was easier, whatever. It made sense for them to use the mini version right here. But yeah, this is we got an Intel chip going on. This is like this isn't a bullshit board. You got an Intel chip. It says it's a Cyclone 10. You've also got, we got a few chips on here. I see that one, Intel Cyclone 10. And yeah, some other shit. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything about this board, but there it is. This is the actual thing that does all the heavy lifting. Now, this is not what I'm afraid of. This is easy. It just screws in and you plug a ribbon cable in right here. That's it. And you have to do some drilling to the case, which I'm not really worried about that either. They come with a template for that. This, no problem. When we get to this point, if we get to this point, I'm a happy man. So let's put this. I'm going to slide this back inside this in here for now. All right, so we also have this little doodad here. I'm not going to take it out. What it is, it's like it clips onto the vents on the back of the case, and then it has these holes where you drill into the case, and that's how you know like the hole for the HDMI out. So that's all that is. It's a template. When I do it, you'll see it makes sense. It's actually a pretty neat thing that they included with it. Then we have the Wi-Fi. It does have Wi-Fi for the board for updating the board. This is the Wi-Fi antenna that hooks onto the board. Once again, that'll be easy. That's all bolt-on. And of course, we have this thing, which is the adapter to go on the back of the Dreamcast, but I will be ditching this once I get the cord. And then there's this, and this is what I've been fearing. This is the part that I am... the only thing of this whole build that I'm kind of in fear of. The extremely delicate... Man, I don't want to rip that right there. The extremely delicate ribbon cable. Oh, I'm doing all this tearing right next to this thing. All right, so here we are. Whoops. This is the thing that's been stressing me out so much. It's really this part, this is all just cable. This plugs into the actual mod. But it's this right here. All these itty bitty contacts along here, 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 and here have to be soldered to this board. Problem is, each of these, if you look closely, let's see if it'll focus. It focused. Come on. It's like it wants to focus, but it can't quite. Let's move this board out of the way. Maybe that'll help. There we go. Each of these, as you'll see these little ridges, they're all they're all separate contacts. Each of these, separate contacts that have to be these like individual wire spot or solder joints, if you will, each of these, and they do not need to touch each other. And this thing is very, as you can see, it's very thin. It's very flimsy. And I'm using an 896 degree fucking soldering iron, so I don't want to burn through this thing. So yeah, it's interesting. Which I may turn the temperature down on that because that I don't want to burn through it. I'm going to look through the directions here real quick and just kind of peruse them. I know how to do this. I mean, I know the basics of it. Let's turn this around. So, anyway, okay. We also have our handy dandy book that came with it. I got something else here. What is this? What is this? Oh, that's for the light. I don't need that. So we got our book. Let's take a look at that. Just to, you know, to take a look here. To see if there, it says there's an installation video. There's a video on YouTube. We may check that out, actually. We might take a look at that, just to be sure. Okay. I know there's some spots that we have to cut. I'm not even concerned about this. There are some like spots, as it shows here, that you have to like cut the shielding and stuff to allow for this board to sit in there, and that's cool. And like a couple of like things that you have to mod, like physically mod the actual case with. I'm cool with that. As you'll see here, it shows them putting this little adapter on so you can cut the hole open for the HDMI. That's all good. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with all this. This is all good. And see, this stuff is the easy part. This is the I can't fuck it up part. I mean, don't say I can't. Can't, never, could do nothing. But then you also have some resistors and chips you have to desolder. I'm not even that worried about that. That's not hard. It says search on the motherboard for R610, R609, which are pictured below and removed completely from the board. Align the flex cable. Here's the part. Align the flex cable with the audio visual chips. Solder the flex into place along the chips is pictured below. Yeah. See, this is the part that this is where it is. Solder all highlighted connections into place. Turn the motherboard over. Solder a wire onto each. Yeah. This is just for power. Find a test point above. Solder a wire at this point. You're going to have like a couple of wires coming off the bottom, loop around to the other side just to give this board power. Install the motherboard back in the dream. Yes, it's really just all of this I'm not concerned about. It's this right here. Really just right here. These two squares. That is all I'm worried about. When it starts saying, okay, let's figure out where this thing's going. I believe the audio visual chip is this one. Am I correct, or is it this one? It's this one. And it looks as if we're coming in. Yeah, there you go. That's how it goes. And it all lines up just perfect. That's great. Lines up perfect. So we're soldering to this. So we're going to be soldering, or I'm going to be soldering these, spot there, these, this, so to these two chips. And that's really it. I mean, I say that's it. That's a lot. That's a lot of places for shit to go wrong. And then what'll happen is this ribbon cable will bend up over like this, or actually the other way, and go onto the, or no, it does. It bends up like that onto the HDMI board. There it is. Man, could I just like duct tape it down? Do you think, would that work? If I just kind of like taped it, glued it maybe? If I just glued it down. You think that might work? Why not? It could work, I think. I'm really paranoid about this. Let's see if they give us any tips on like what to do. Testing. This is just showing the firmware. Yeah, not so much. I like how they glaze over in the book the hardest fucking part of this whole thing. It's like two little spots. Hey, do this. Solder the flex into place along with Yep, that's what they do. They just go whatever. You know what we're going to do, guys? Real quick, because I am super fucking paranoid about this. We're going to check out this video they got. Or at least the part about the soldering, because that's the only part I'm worried about. And see if they give us any tips. So let's check that out. I'm having to stretch to do this. Hey, there's my stream. Okay, so let's see where it says youtube.com. Watch question mark V equals, this is the weirdest fucking shit, 0 C 3 I capital S capital Y B L O, well, lowercase b capital L, Jesus Christ, is that an O or is it, that's an O H8 H8, capital H. Let's see if I actually typed that in right. Oh, I did! Holy fuck, it's a 57-minute long video. Let's just skip to the part about the soldering and see what it says.
Alright, hey everybody. I'm ready to do a Dreamcast teardown. First one to show, this is what you're going to get in the kit. You'll get a flex cable, a couple M2 nuts and screws, the actual board itself, a backing adhesive, a drill block guide.
Sorry, whoever you are,
Wi-Fi
I'm not
antenna.
trying to steal your content.
So let's put all this stuff to the side for now, except for this.
Citrus 3000 PSI. Thank you very much.
Because we don't need these just yet.
Antonio says he has confidence in me.
But we can put on
Craig
the
came on and said, "Heart, hey, how you doing, Craig?"
backing on this. This is just so there's no chance of shorting.
Fright Film says you better read the instruction
I'll
book.
peel this off. It's already pre-cut. There is 2 little tiny holes.
All right, I'm going to skip to the soldering part.
So I'm just going to poke these holes out.
I probably should have watched this video prior to this, but I didn't realize there was a video, or I would have.
Like so.
No
We're just going
timestamp.
to go ahead and go from the top. I'm going to try to line the holes up best we can. So, we're going to go ahead and do the case bottom modification, which would be bad. So I try and kind of do a cleanup right in. And it's actually here that the capacitor hits. Well, we gave them options. That optional pad to control the button. You can reflex it. Make sure to remove this nub. So you're going to be removing the video jack. Let's see, we have a little nice.
Okay, here we are.
All right, here's
To the
back on
motherboard.
a motherboard view. This is the top side of the motherboard.
Okay.
See around here. Here's the power port right here. So we're going to be focusing on this chip right here and this chip. This is the video jack. This is the audio IC. First thing we need to do is we need to remove these resistors right here so we can get this focused.
I think I've seen this video, or at least parts of it. I could be wrong. I researched this, I promise.
There we go. So you're going to be removing these 2 resistors.
Okay, yeah, we saw that in the instruction book. I want to see you do the solder. This removing is easy. I don't need to watch you do that.
And then I'm just going to heat up both sides of my iron and just drag them away. I'm going to clean up those spots because that needs to be flat. It's better to put solder on it now because we won't have problems later on. So let's zoom back out.
Here we go. Here's the good stuff.
Now if you have a VA0, there's going to be a thermal resistor connector right here, and this will have to go up and over like that.
Oh, okay, so that's one of the differences in the other models. I didn't know that.
So how I place this cable is I line it up.
What's that, Quan? How you doing? Yeah, we're doing this. I just wanted to see somebody else do it real quick.
So let's zoom into that.
So this is the part I've been paranoid about, is this drag soldering bit here.
We can get that to focus a little better.
So from the left, we need to go in 2 prongs. Okay.
This looks like that's good as we're going to get. So you need to leave 3 pins on the bottom. So those 3 pins.
3 pins on the right, 2 pins on the left.
So let's
gotcha.
drop some liquid flux down there. I'm going to keep my iron pretty low.
Oh, I need to turn that down. Mine's high.
315.
Oh, he's going to 315. I was at 896.
Just going to put a little dab of solder. Don't really need much. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this cable in place by grabbing this resistor.
I'm glad he said that.
And then I'm just going to put a couple dabs.
Okay, so he's not doing the drag soldering deal.
And for a future revision, I might redo this end because actually only 4 pins are used. All these pins up here are not used. They're just there for support, and I probably could omit them in a later revision. So you don't have to solder all these.
So you don't have to solder them all. Okay.
Put a little bit more flux.
Well, that wasn't too bad.
Put just a tiny bit more solder on my soldering iron.
Now he is using a flatter head. Perhaps I should do that because I've got the pointed head on mine. Let's do that.
And the pins that actually do matter, there's a ground right here. And then I think this one and this one and this one go to this resistor array. I have to relook at the schematics.
Okay.
They're not all connected. So next step.
You know, I'm going to stop there.
We're going to focus in on this side.
Yeah. Okay. So I stopped it there because I want to, like I said, I just wanted to see like any pointers from someone else who was doing this, just to see if there was something maybe. I don't want. I'm really paranoid about this thing. If you hadn't guessed, so let's change the tip, my soldering iron tip, which I probably shouldn't have let it heat up to 900 fucking degrees before I do that. But you know what? I feel confident that we can do this thing. I'm gonna go with this one or this one. Let's see. I'm going to do the smaller one because it is such a small. Maybe. Whoa, my power just flickered. Now, I'll let everybody know my power went out the other day, so if the stream just dies, it's because my power went out. So it just flickered. So hopefully my power doesn't go out and the stream goes down. If it does, sorry! Okay, so... You know what? This fucker is hot right now, and I don't feel like fucking with it, so we're just going to roll with it. Because this smaller tip I'm looking at doing isn't really that much smaller. So let's turn this bad boy back on. We're going to go... to 300. Okay. Let that heat up for a second. I'm going to take a look at the chat here, and then we're going to go ahead and just jump right in, because I keep talking this thing up and getting paranoid. I just need to fucking do it. Let's see what you guys are saying over here on the chat before I jump in headlong into this thing. Fright says, sounds expensive, Jacob. Don't mess it up. That's the idea. That's why I don't, because I could potentially not just mess up this mod that costs more than the fucking system I'm working on, but mess up the actual motherboard as well. And I could just fuck the whole thing up. I don't want to do that. I mean, I've got other spare Dreamcasts over here, but I would like to make them, I would like to, you know, this to be a lucrative venture. Plus, I'm just interested in doing it. Nick says, don't worry, Jacob, I'll laugh at you on the stream tomorrow, on the live stream tomorrow. Yeah. Well, Nick and I will be recording a podcast tonight, so if I fuck this up, I'm sure it'll be, we'll talk about it at length there. And he'll laugh at me publicly in front of everyone when we stream, because Nick is my co-host on the Almost Awesome show that goes live tomorrow at 2 o'clock Central Time. Fancy even got Wi-Fi on the thing. Oh, Jacob will be watching YouTube video. Well, it's not for that. Yeah, you can't. I mean, the Dreamcast does have a modem, but it's 56K. You can get a broadband modem. I was thinking about upgrading it to Wi-Fi, but I don't really see the point, because there's a browser that I assume you could still access with a Dreamcast. It just accesses, it's like Windows, because it runs off of Windows CE. But I really don't know. I mean, at that point, what would be the point of it? There's nothing you could really do with that. Maybe transferring games so you don't ever have to take the SD card out. That could possibly. I'd have to look at how this DCMU or GDEMU board works. Well, if you rip the cable, you have to solder it back together. No, I don't think I can. If this cable breaks, I'm just fucked. I have to buy another cable, and I have no idea how much just this cable costs. The whole deal was expensive, so I'm sure it's not. And Craig already mentioned, gave us the hearty hearts. I have confidence in you. This will probably be extremely helpful. I mean, yeah, it may. I felt a little bit better about it, but he made it look easy, but I don't feel like it's going to be quite that easy for me. I don't mind if it's hard, as long as I don't fuck this thing up. Quan says Dreamcast HDMI out DIY. Yes, sir or ma'am. Gotta go. I'll be back soon. All right, Fright Films. Thanks for hanging out for a bit, man. See you soon, Fright. Thumbs up says James Ghibli? Sorry, I can't see your name. My monitor is further away because I got this table in front of my desk. I know it says James. James, give me a thumbs up. Thanks, James. All right. We're heated up. All right, guys, let's just fucking do this thing. Let's do it. All right, so we're going to be... Right here. This is where we need to be. And if we can get these first ones in good, the rest of that'll help hold it in place, and the rest of them should go pretty good. So that appears to be lined up just right. Now, while I'm doing this, I may seem a little distant. That would be because my mic is up here and I'll have my head down trying to make this thing work. Get some solder. Get our flux ready. Where's my flux tip? Oh, there it is. I got shit everywhere on this workbench. Whew! I don't even know why I got that out. I don't need that right now. I love how the last stream that I did this on, I had all the confidence in the world to do this shit when I didn't have the actual mod in hand. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, if I had it, I'd do it, no problem. Man, fuck this thing. It ain't no shit. Now that I've got it, I'm fucking sweating goddamn bullets. All right, let's do it. While we're here, let's tin. I need to tin my my iron. I need to turn it up. I think he may have been talking Celsius. Because I had it at 350. He said he was at 315 or 351. And it's not even melting the solder. There we go. I got some on there now. There we go. I'm back. Is this the same stream or did it start a new stream? I'm not sure because my computer totally. Sometimes if I lose power, like if power just goes out, it'll just okay. It's continuing the same stream. Well, that's good. Hopefully, I didn't lose many of you. Well, that's better than it. You know, me having to start a whole new stream. What is going on here? Close that. All right. Sorry, I got to get a couple of things up and running. Actually, I'm kind of I'm not happy that happened, but I'm happy I did. I totally almost forgot we need to remove those resistors first. Because they're underneath the ribbon cable, so we need to remove those real quick. So let's do that first. So something saved my ass there, not having to do this ribbon cable yet. Alrighty. So let's jump into this thing. I don't think my power, it usually just, not usually, but when it does do that, it just blinks and then it's back. Looks like Antonio said hopefully he comes back soon. Okay, yeah, it is the same one. Cool. No sound. It's like when you need to chip for a... Oh, clap for a fairy to come back to life in Peter Pan. Legends say you need to belch with all your might to fix the stream. Yes, that's exactly what it was, Brandon Kilgore. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Same stream. Yay. Sound is muffled. Is it still... Well, that's because I was in front of the mic. I was over here. The mic's facing this way. We're on the same one. The other channel started a new stream, though. I don't care. Nobody watches that channel anyway. Movie Emporium. Oh, my gosh. All right. Let's do this thing. We need to take... let's... Let me locate the resistors we got to take out. So it says it is R610 and R609, which are pictured below and removed completely from the board. Okay, so it's just those two. That's all we got to take out. They're right next to each other. They're over by the audio chip. This is the audio chip. R6, what was it? 10 and 9. R6, 10, and 9. Where are you? Let's see where the picture says they are. Got these. Should be right here. Oh, R610, R69. So these two. You fuckers gotta go. These two will be departing. Let's put that there. Whoops, don't want to put that on top of the damn system chip. Alright, so we're going to throw some flux on here because flux makes everything better. Whoa! Fucking hell, I didn't mean to do that. There must have been something clogging the tube. Shit. Shit. I told you, don't do this at home. Now I'm going to clean this board up properly with some alcohol before I actually put it back together and everything, so don't worry. It's okay. Let's try that again. There must have been something clogged in there. I don't know if you guys picked up on that on the video, but yeah, that shit went everywhere. He just kind of swept him out of the way when he did it. Pretty sure his iron was a lot hotter. Let's try this one. I see like each side heating up a bit. Maybe I need to add some. I didn't tin my tip. That might be part of it. Made a little bit of a mess. We've got one off. There we go. While we're here, Okay, cool. I never said that I was the most amazing solderer ever. But, you know, here's the... I was going to show you guys the resistor. Here's one of them. Very small. Yep, there it is. That's one of them. And there's the other one with a big glob of solder on it. So with those out of the way, it says now, line cable, audiovisual chip, and solder away, and hope you don't fuck this thing up. That's exactly what it said, by the way. All right, so let's start that part. That's the part I've been fearing. So we line it up right there. Glad we moved those because they were literally right under it right there. I'm guessing we're going to solder down to that. Hang on. I left some solder behind. Okay, I think we're good. Did I fucking... No. Okay, woo! I got I got paranoid. I'm looking at my book here, and I thought I accidentally removed a chip here too. There wasn't one there. Okay, cool. I was pretty fucking paranoid there for a second. All right, cool. I thought I fucked it up before I even got to the ribbon cable. All right, that's right where it needs to be. And of course, I've not tinned my soldering iron or anything yet, and I've got it all lined up. Yay me. What are the chances I can get this thing just... Nope, I moved it. It's all good. Such is life. Good job. Yeah, I guess. Thank you, though, Antonio. I appreciate the cheerleading. All right, we're all tinned up. Let's line this bad boy back up. Let's flex this mofo, or flux this mofo. Moment of truth, let's do this shit. Fuck it. All this talk. Shit. Well, fuck. Sorry I'm not talking much. Kind of concentrating. Fuck. You know what we're gonna do? Hang on. I didn't even think of this. I should have pre-tinned this. Hang on, we're gonna let me restart. I didn't even think of that, dumbass. Okay. Let's try this again. We have somehow not fucked it up yet. Or I haven't. I say we, like we're in this together. Okay, so it's soldered down. However, I do see an issue, but it is fixable. That is that we've got like a big glob of solder. I don't know if you guys can see it from your side. Let's see. It's the pin, they're not individually soldered, they're kind of like all together. So I'm going to have to try and separate all that. I think part of the problem is there's a bit too much solder. So I'm going to try and remove some of it. And I'm going to use, instead of a plunger, I'm going to use a wick. All right, I am going to use the plunger on some of it. We're getting there. All right, so we're just about there, and we haven't ruined the cable. That's a plus, I think. I think we got it all. I think I actually effectively did it. Could be wrong. But I think we're there. I mean, we won't know until I turn it on. But I think so. I think I did it. Danny says you're a good dude. It's a delicate situation. Yes, it is a delicate situation. It's not I will say, after now having done it, I have a better understanding of it. There's two connections there that I'm suspect about. I need to get a little bit closer look on. It's kind of hard with my microphone here and everything, but I feel pretty good about it. I feel much better about it now than I did initially going into this. I put too much solder. I've always been the type who puts too much of shit on stuff, but I put too much, went back, and we cleared that up. It's just like in school when you do the glue, hey, a little dab will do you. That's the case with solder too, and in a situation like this, just saying. There's kind of like a drag soldering hybrid that I just did. I did not go into it trying to drag solder, but ended up actually drag soldering, so for those of you that were wondering. Nick says, this is making my stress levels rise. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you, said Brendan. No, I meant watching the video. Working on such small, delicate things that can break easily is stress-inducing. It is. Imagine me. I'm like sweating. But, I do feel better about it now. So I'm ready to move on to the next part. I think these little spots here we have to put a dab to. Let me double check our instructions here. Solder the flex into place along the chips as pictured below. These pictures are not very... Align the flex cable to audio visual, solder the chips, solder all the highlighted connections into place. So yeah, that, okay. Yeah, I think it is all the spots that have a pad I have to do a little solder. And that'll be it. Let's take a look at our friend over at Citrus something, whatever it was, that channel. I'm just going to take a quick look at that and see where he was at with it. Let me move my screen. I'm not going to move myself and all that. Well, I mean, I guess I fucking can't. Fuck it. Just going to kind of go like that. Let's see what he says.
Ground right here. And then I think this one and this one and this one go to this resistor array. I'm relook at the schematics.
Yeah.
They're not well connected. So next step.
We do the same thing right here.
Focus in on this IC. And it should line up pretty close. How each chip lays and solders down may move a little bit. So if you have a little bit of flex in your cable, that's okay. But what we're going to try and do is
ours does lay that way.
I'm going to try and line this up. See, I'm going to push this down a little bit so I'm more aligned. I'm just going to hold with my finger. Definitely just stuck my finger with the iron. I'm going to hold this right here so we're lined up. I'm just going to do these pins right here. Let's see, the cable is raised.
Let's see if I can do that. Probably not. He seems to make it look a little bit easier than it was for me.
Just right now, I'm actually kind of like bringing the solder up from the bottom of this IC. You can see where that's where all the solder's coming from. It's not coming from my iron.
Okay.
Rotate it around for me, easier to solder.
I'm getting vertigo. I need a better magnifying glass. Mine's only 10 times.
Just a little bit of solder on my iron. This helps kind of bring that solder up from the bottom.
Okay, see, that's the problem. I was not doing that.
You bridge a pin, don't worry about it. Just kind of keep doing what you're doing. Alright, so now we're looking pretty good. So now I'm going to go ahead and inspect each pin more regularly. So it looks like the pins aren't connected, but they're actually connected underneath. I can see that on my microscope.
Glad you can.
Connected on top, so I usually take a little bit more solder, and I am going to go over them again. See, I really dropped a lot more solder on that.
So he did like me, but he's a lot better at cleaning it up.
Bridge down here.
You guys can't hear what he's saying, can you? No, you can't. My bad. I'm sitting here responding to stuff he said, and you're like, what the fuck is he saying? There you go. He's just saying that it connects from underneath, and he's using the solder that's already there, which my dumbass didn't even think of that.
Just a little bit of wick. Just don't want to use the wick really necessarily on the flex cable.
I did that.
I don't want to damage it. So those bridges are gone. We're going to do the same thing to this right here.
Okay.
I can find it.
So we want to do that one first, and then we'll move on to the other smaller points. Cool. I mean, all the stuff that he's showing, with the exception of the temp he said, which I'm not even really using that temp. That's what I'm doing. I just wanted confirmation because this is stressful. Let's see. Such a shame. No, I meant what? Brandon says, such a shame. The Sega Dreamcast had people burning and rewriting GD-ROMs and CDs. It was a well-built design for. It was, and you can actually I mean, I won't have to do that because I'm not even going to have a CD drive or GD drive as it was on this build. But yeah, I've got a burn. I haven't bought burned games myself for the Dreamcast. I'm not above it, but I haven't. I'm more of the collector side of things. I do like collecting the physical media, and I have quite a few Dreamcast games over there. I mainly wanted this just because it just seemed like a really cool thing to do, and it would be neat to not have to stress out my GD-ROM, which is technically what it is. People, it's not CD-ROM, it's GD-ROM, as Brandon said. But the my drive, because they wear out, and if this will allow me not to be able to do that and still play the games. I own a shit ton of these games already that I'm going to put on this SD card, and also wanted to see if I could sell them, do something I really enjoy doing, and actually sell them and bring a little bit more income into the house. What sort of oil is that? It looks like silicone. It's flux. It's just No clean liquid flux. I mean, no liquid flux is no clean, but it's just liquid flux. It essentially helps, or it's almost like a guide. I've always looked at it like that. It guides the solder to the points that need to be soldered. It like adheses to the metals. Just use Scotch tape instead. Seems easier. That's what I said. Just some super glue. I got some Gorilla Glue over here. Why can't I just Gorilla Glue that shit down? Is Gorilla Glue a conductor? I'm not really sure. I don't think so. I wouldn't advise it. Tape can leave a film that corrodes terminals. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I guess. Gotta use captive tape, maybe? All right, let's do this other one. And then that'll be the quote-unquote hard part out of the way. I'm probably going to go back and clean this one up when all is said and done. It's a little bit further over than I'd like, but I think it's lined up enough. I should have pulled down a little bit. But I think it's close enough. I mean, I think it'll work. Everything else seems pretty lined up. I mean, it's literally like not even a millimeter off right there, but I think it'll be okay. So, this time, let's not put as much solder, which I probably just put too much, but just put that on to pull the other solder up. Much better that time. Much happier with that. All right, let's try this other one. This other side. Still got a little bit of solder on my tip, so I'm not going to do any more. We're just going to, like you said, we're going to try and bring it up. Love them solder fumes in my face. Yeah. Now I think we're all excuse me, heated up from or attached on the bottom, but I'm going to add just a touch more solder. I don't want to get crazy like I did on the other side. And end up with a bunch of bridges. I think it's good. Oh, there's a little bit of a bridge right there. There we go. This one I'm very happy with that side. Let's go on back up here to the top. That right there, there's that one spot I'm not feeling. There we go. One little bridge. All right, good enough for me, I think. Okay, so all of our main points are soldered on the board. I think we're good. Let me check and make sure. I want to look at this and just see if we are supposed to hit these. There's like a couple other small like single points. Like there's this one, this one, this one, and this one. So we got 4 other spots, just small spots. Bang, 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 like single joints. I just want to make sure that I am supposed to do those, because the instruction booklet was not as clear. So let me see what he says. He's just cleaning up his joints.
This cap right here that we put that little thing focus, so I'll rotate it around so you can see it better. First,
yeah, like those 2 spots there.
Focus, so I'll rotate it around so you can see it better. The back side of this cap right here that we put that little thing of solder for. I'm actually going to turn my iron up a little bit. This is a, even though it's a positive area, it's a plus 3.3, or no,
okay.
It's not plus 3.3, it's plus 5. It just takes a lot of power to heat up.
I see that one.
Actually, I'm sorry, it's a ground. I don't know what I'm thinking. Anyways, so I'm holding this cable down, and then I'm just going to take my iron.
Okay.
Connection.
Do I do that to the other ones too?
Almost done with the flex cable. Just a few more.
I think so.
A few more connections. So now we're going to do these 2 holes right here.
Yeah.
So just get your solder loaded up on your iron or on your tip. Push this down so it's flat. I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. Some more solder on your tip. I'm going to fill this hole in right here.
Adding solder, okay.
I'll go ahead and add a little more to this.
There's one more.
We're not done over here yet.
3 of them?
We're going to make 2 connections right here.
Where?
So I'm going to go into feed solder.
Oh,
and this
there's
is
more. I didn't even see
bridge.
those. Okay.
I'm also going to bridge this right here.
So we bridged. Okay.
I'll clean that up so it's better, not so shiny, so it'll be easier to see. And JP1 should also be jumped. So go ahead and jump JP1.
JP1.
And I'm going to go down to this area right here. I'm going to solder this connection on. And it is on. So now I'm going to go and clean this up.
Okay, yeah, cool.
A little bit.
So yeah, all the spots that have a pad, I need to do them. That's what I thought. I just wanted to double check. Brandon Kilgore says, let's try to bring it up. Said Kamala Harris to Joe Biden. Yeah. Yeah. Let's try and bring it up. Okay, so we got point here, these 2 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he said something about JP1. I don't see JP1. J8. J4, J6. I don't see JP1. He said JP1 needed to be bridged. Is that on the actual board? I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. See RJ6. J8. Maybe mine did, because it didn't mention anything about that in the book I have. Maybe I have a newer version or something. Yeah, I don't see JP1. Where was it on his? Right, he's right. It's right there next to that cap. R4C1, I see that. D1. Yeah, he's got like a little pad right here. That I don't have. I guess I don't have to do that. I guess because mine doesn't have that. So maybe his is slightly different. This is from 2018, so maybe this is a revision or something. So okay, that's cool. All right, let's do these couple like real quick ones, and then we'll get on to the stuff that's not as stressful. I know I'm looking forward to being not as fucking stressed out. I don't know about you guys. I think we could probably... Need to hold that down. Cool. So I need to bridge these. Well, shit. No, I didn't fuck it up. I had it done and I had to keep on going, of course. Okay, so then we've got that one. Is that one down? All right, so we're all good. Let's move on down here to here. Well, that one ain't pretty, but it'll get the job done. Okay, so I think we got all of our points. We got 1, 2, no bridge. All of those, all of those. This one's ugly as shit, but it'll work. I think that's everything. I think that's all of our points. Yep. We're done with the ribbon cable. Hooray! And I didn't break it. Now, I mean, there's one specifically spot that I think may be bridged. I feel fairly confident that is bridged. I'm going to leave it alone for now. I can't. I don't want to fuck with it, though. It needs... I know it's bridged. I'm looking right at it. I know it is. I need to fix that. It's this one fucking spot, man. It just won't come unbridged. All right. So I'm going to try and unbridge this real quick, and then we will be done with this part, and we'll move on to some more interesting things to do with this build that'll go faster. One last thing, and it's right here, and you guys can't see it from your... Let me turn it around. Right... there. That is a bridge. That little lump of solder right there. I need to get rid of that because it's just bridging 2 connections and that won't work. That'll cause problems. Now, he did say that all of these are not used. Like, you don't need all of those, according to him. So that will be one of the ones I need. That's my luck. It will be one of the ones that I need. So let's try and just... It's just this one joint. All the other ones I'm actually pretty happy with. But this one joint, if I could just get it... to move out of there... I guess I could try the sucker. I don't want to take too much off, though. This won't quite come off. One more thing to try. There. I think that did it. I'm going to stop. I think that did it. I think that did it. I'm going to fucking stop. All right. Yay. So that part is done, Areno. Let's jump into the more interesting stuff, the more fun stuff. I feel much better. Now, granted, I won't know 100% if this works for a bit, but I feel very confident that if it's not working, it is something I could easily fix. But now we can jump into things like with the modding of the shell, adding in the fan, things like that. These are all like bolt-on things. They're much easier. They go quicker. It'll be something a bit more stimulating to watch. It won't be quite so, okay, I'm watching this guy heat up pieces of fucking metal and gluing them together pretty much. So, yeah, let's go into that and do some sexiness there. I do need to, one more solder thing. I need to, well, I'm going to have to solder a couple of wires, but nothing like super intensive like this. I need to clean this up, though. I'm going to need to clean up this board because even though this is no clean flux, still, don't leave that shit all over your board. You're just asking for problems if you do that. But yeah, man, I feel better about this now. I feel so much better. I'll feel even better once I'm able to turn this fucker on. Now, I could actually test it after we're done here in a few minutes. I could test it and with a regular drive, which I have some. I know out of these Dreamcasts I have over here, at least one of them has a good optical drive. So I could maybe later on test those and yank one of those out and put it in this just to temporarily test it. And I'll probably do that after today. We're not going to turn this thing on because I don't even have the GDEMU yet. It should be here. Hopefully, like I said, I ordered another one. It should be here hopefully within a week. I ordered it a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It's coming from somewhere else. But the original one I ordered that I got a really good deal on, I can't complain too much because I did get an awesome deal on it. But Jesus Christ, it's taken like 2.5 months to get here. But this one that I've ordered, actually, I do see where it's at, and it is shipping. It's cleared customs, finally. So I'm hoping it'll be here within the week. Now, the GDEMU just, it's real easy. That's literally a 5-minute upgrade. I mean, since everything's already ripped out of the thing, I will literally be able to just, like, hook it all up, put it in there. It's more all the software that goes with it after the fact. That'll take longer than actually installing the damn thing. So, but let's do some cleaning while I talk, and I'll look at you guys as what is it? The chat and everything. What are you guys saying over here? Nothing new. All right, cool. So when cleaning your electronics, you want to use 99% isopropyl alcohol. That is the best. And a toothbrush doesn't hurt. Why you want to use this is because it doesn't hurt the electronics, and it will pretty much get anything off. And it dries super fast. I'm going to use like a microfiber cloth to just get the dab it off. Just a dab. There we go. And it will be 100% dry within just a couple of minutes, honestly. I am curious if this chip had thermal paste on it, because I didn't see anything. If it doesn't, I might actually put some on there just to help out. I mean, why not? You can never have too much thermal paste. Right? Don't answer that. You can. You want to evenly distribute your thermal paste. As I did when you guys watched me build my monster PC a while back. Check out the bottom, make sure nothing seems out of place. We are going to have to solder 3 wires, I believe, to the bottom to get power to this thing. But we'll get there in a few. Alright, so let's set this bad boy off to the side for now. And move my high-tech toothbrush to the side. Now, shit, I didn't bring my drill. I'm gonna need that. Don't need my magnifying glass for this. So, I've got our... Set that over there. Our shielding. And the bottom of our kit. Why is it so... Oh, because the... I was like, why is that so heavy? It's because the modem is in here. Whoops. Modem. We recased the modem last time too, by the way. Which, if you do plan on doing that, we found something neat out about when you insert the modem into its casing. Little neat thing. There's like a slide that pivots so that you can get it in there right. I did not know that. We learned it last time. The more you know. Okay, so we're going to have to do a few modifications to this. I don't think we have to modify this. I hope not. This fucker's thick. Let's see here. Let's look at our handy-dandy instruction book here. All right. Oh, yeah, we do. Looks like we have to do a very small modification. Tear down the Dreamcast console so you have access to the motherboard. Take the bottom and top shielding and make clean cuts using metal snips to cut the required parts out as pictured below. Okay. Cut off a plastic screw boss with side cutters. I've got that. First drill the block guide into position shown in the picture, then drill with a suitable drill. Electric drill is shown below. I'm using a 364. Okay. Yeah. And a file. I've got a file. Use a small flat file, square hole. Do not make the hole larger than what the drill bit did. Slowly file, only removing little bits of material. Check for fitment. Make sure bottom metal shield is in place. Repeat these steps until the board can slide and firmly and lay flat. Drill 2 small holes in the PCP to guide as a guide. And mount PCB with shipped M2 screws and nuts. Okay. So I'll need my drill and my file. And then we go into that. Okay, so there's a lot of pages for not much that I'm having to do there. All right, so we are going to have to, I'm going to need to grab my 10 snips and my drill real quick, which are in my shed. So I'll have to run upstairs, run outside, go to the shed, grab those and come back. So I will be back. Give me like 2 minutes. Because if I run, I can do it. So I will be right back, ladies and jelly spoons. Give me just a sec. I'm back. Thankfully, most of you hung out. Okay, so slight problem, but it's okay. We're going to work it out. I found everything I needed except for my file. I don't know why I've been reorganizing my shed. I don't know why I can't find my file. I even looked for my chainsaw. I have 2 chainsaw files. I couldn't even find that because they're kind of small, and I was like, maybe that'll fit. But you know what? I got a fix for it. We're going to make it happen. I got everything else, though, and that's what matters. So we're still going to do this thing. I am not going to be held back. Okie dokie. So it says this, which is an extremely thick piece of metal, by the way. It says that we are going to remove this. I don't know if it's the whole thing, but it says like here to there. So we're just going to take this whole piece out. So I think if we cut there and there, we should be good. These aren't straight snips, but they will work. I hope. Yep, they work. I should have brought a pair of pliers. I think I have some in here. I do, right here. Well, shit. Honestly, I'll just break it off like that. There we go. Cleanish. Cleanish cuts. Cleanish. That one's clean. That one's kind of... Ain't gonna hurt nothing. It'll be alright. I have a pair of yellow straight snips somewhere. That would have been better for the job, but I was in a hurry. Alright, yeah, there we go. Ta-da! I think that is all we have to cut on this piece. And then... Alright, so let's set this to the side. Let's take this board out, or not board, but let's take this shielding out, which I put all the screws back last time so that I wouldn't forget where they went. Whoops, I gotta change bits. I was working on my son's Xbox Series S because he fucking broke it, so I was having to use a security bolt, or bit. By the way, if you have to work on an Xbox Series S, I've not opened a Series X. My X, I've not had any issue. I haven't had any issues out of... We've got 2 S's and 1 X in the house. I haven't had any issues out of any of them. This particular one I'm working on was not the Xbox fault in the slightest. It was his for yanking out the HDMI cord. All cause I don't even know what the fuck he did, but he broke the HDMI port. So I'm trying to repair that. I can repair that. I know I can. It's as simple as desoldering the HDMI plug and just plugging and soldering another one in. I'm just in no big hurry to do it because I'm like, dude, you just got this for your birthday and you broke it already. Which this is not the first Xbox series, yeah, but it's not the first Xbox he's broken. So I'm like, you know, I'm not in any big hurry. I'm not in any big hurry to fix this right now because, you know, maybe you need to learn a lesson. Just saying. Parenting tips from Jake, FYI. All right, let's pull this bad boy out. Whew, I'm hot. It is hot as hell down here in Alabama. So it appears that we are taking this out, which I think is this raised piece right here. If I'm reading this correctly. Cut off plastic screw bolts, take the bottom and top shielding and make cuts using metal snippers and the cut required. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to cut this out. So we cut this whole piece out and this piece. Okay. Like how much of that piece? That's a big fucking square they got right there. Let's look at our little video over here. Just to be safe. I don't want to go cutting shit I ain't gotta. I don't think we're going to fuck anything up with this cut, but... I think he did that in the beginning of the video.
Edges, so there's nothing sticking up. So next thing we are so you can see I have these two pieces bent off and snipped off. Like I said, I did those.
Okay, that's what I'm working on now. Is this? So yeah, he just. Okay, cool. Is that it?
On my vise, where I can just clamp it and rock it back and forth. So now.
Okay, yeah, that's what I needed to know. That is all I needed to know. Whoops. So we're going to be cutting this piece and this piece off. Easy peasy. And this is a much thinner metal, so shouldn't be any trouble at all. Except that it twists. Well, fuck. This piece. Great. Of course it's going to be a bitch. Because it's this really thin metal. So it's like twisting and turning. And I left a fish hook. Awesome. Got like a notch in these or something, and it's making it hard to cut. Use quality tools, people. Jesus Christ. This is supposed to be the easy part. There we go. We got a cut going now. Not the best cut I've ever done in my life, but I will take it. I need my red snips, but I don't know where the hell they are. I'm gonna have to bend this up. Jesus Christ, this is fucking ridiculous. This stuff's like fucking tinfoil, by the way. God. What else I got in here? Do I have something else in here that cuts? I don't think these are for like wires. Let's try it. I just need to get this little bit off right here. Hang on. Be right back. Okay. So I used my wife's kitchen scissors. Don't tell her. She usually doesn't watch my streams. Sometimes she does. If she does, honey, sorry. But that could dull them up, so don't tell her I did that. My old ass bullshit tool right here. Fuck that thing. Okay, so not the cleanest cut I have ever made, for sure. But it will work. Put all this relatively back to how it goes. And I think we're good. Got a little fish hook there. And we're good to go. Oh, this little pad came off. I think it went right here. Okay, so we remove that. Now let's grab the bottom. And we've got to remove something from here. One of these pegs, I believe it is. This one, right? Yes. Says cut off plastic screw boss with side cutters. Okay, I've got that. And then I got to start drilling. Okay, so let's cut this off. This is the right one, right? I don't want to go cutting the wrong fucking thing. Yes, okay. I hate doing that, man. I just bought this. I just bought this case and I just cut it. But I'm about to drill a lot into the back too, anyway. So whatever. Okay, so it says first put drill block guide in position. Show picture and pictures. Yeah. Okay, so where's our drill block guide? This is the thing I was talking about in the beginning. Let's give you a better look. Well. This is going to tell us... Ooh, lots of little screws go with it. And this is going to tell us how to... There we go. How to... drill the hole for the HDMI output. It says use a 3/6/4. Okay. I think it's in the bottom. First drill block guide in position shown in the picture. Then drill with the suitable drill. Turn upside down as shown below and drill appropriate drill bit. Okay, cool. So I grabbed a few things of drill bits to make sure I got the right one. Do I have a 3/6? This is millimeter. A 5. Is it 3 or 5? 5 6/4? Yeah, 3/6/4. A 7. Not with that one. A 332. 5/6. I might use that one. Let's check my other bits. Apparently that's a more uncommon drill bit than I was expecting. 5. Yeah, apparently a 3/6/4. Honestly, now that I think about it, that doesn't seem very familiar. Or common, or rather, Jesus Christ, I can't talk today. So we're gonna go to the 5/6/4. Let's see if, or 5 6/4. Let's see if that fits. Oh yeah, that fits in the hole. So that should be fine. It's close enough. Okay, so let's... So the way that this works, make sure it looks like I go a couple over, we do it this way. It's got like these little grooves in it. Let me show you guys. It's got these little grooves that fit into the vent, and then you drill in and then you flip it and you drill those and you should have a hole afterwards. So let's try that out. So here's the back vent. I guess it doesn't really matter which one you do first, but they want it... You can see 2.5 hole. Yeah, okay, right here. You can drill down on the bottom. Okay. Well, let's do it. turn that to low so we don't blow this fucking thing out. What are you guys saying over here in the chat before I jump any further? Oh, I missed some. Let's scoot on up here. This is actually, I'm behind on the comments. Sorry, but Brandon said, well, I'm on the same one. The other channel started a new stream. Okay. Getting down to brass tacks. Thank you. It's very sort of chip to improve. Is there any sort of chip to improve the dithering? Improve dithering of what? Higher temp, more flux. No, more flux is just, you don't have to have a more temp or a higher temp for more flux. I mean, more flux, you can't have too much. I mean, you can have too much of anything, but like that first time when I accidentally shot all that flux across the board, that was a bit much. What about that electric putty for cleaning computers? I am not familiar enough with that to really speak on it. I know what you're talking about, though. Good job. Let's go. You're good. It's a delicate situation. This is making my stress level rise. Oh, I already read these. To change these. Let's try bring. Oh, you guys haven't commented anymore since. Okay, cool. I thought. Oh, wait a minute. Have you? Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. Let's go. Let's drill some shit. So just hold it on here like this. And drill slowly because it is plastic. And don't drill through your finger. Whoa. I'm gonna break that fucking piece in the front. Glad I saw that. While I'm here, I'm taking this off because it's being a pain in the dick. I just had it on there to remember, like, to not get the screws mixed up anyway. Because I knew there was going to be a length of time between filming of the last part and this part. There, that's better. So when we take this off, ta-da, we have 3 perfect little holes. See? Look, they're so cute. 3 perfect little holes. All right, let's, I'm gonna take it and we're gonna flip it over. Now I'm assuming these 2 holes right here will fill in the spaces. and then we'll file the edges away. Yep, that's pretty much what it did. Now we just got a bunch of holes. Now, I'm just going to cut all that out. I wish I had a file, I thought, down here. I guess not. Hang on. My daughter just got home from school. It's like, hey, yeah, I'm online, so don't do that. All right, so making a mess. Making a mess! So I'm going to just take this, because I don't have my file. Ghetto filing, people. That's how we roll here. Ghetto filing. Now I'll come back when I find my file later on, and I'll come back and pretty this up some. I'm going to cut some of these with my side cutters. Let's cut some of these more fine edges off. I'll make this prettier. I don't recommend doing it this way, by the way, but I'm a professional. Sorry. I'm a professional fuck up. So don't try this at home. Okay, so now they say that we need to put the board down here and make sure it fits in there flush. Am I correct? Yes, I am correct. So let's break our board out again. There's my flashlight for when the power goes out. And it doesn't. That's okay, though. Because we can fix that. Can we do it? Yes, we can. I think this will do it. Now this part I really don't recommend doing this way. Because I'm just kind of winging it now. real technical shit here. Still not quite there. Damn. I really expected that to do it. I mean, it's open big enough for it, but you're supposed to be poking this through. It looks like it's more or less tall enough. It's not wide enough. And this is where a file would be needed. We're almost there. Looks like I need to go a little bit on both sides upwards. Just ever so slightly. What if I just tried my side cutters? Let's try that. Nah, I don't want to do that. It's going to break it. I'm kind of worried about... Let's try this. There we go. See if that did it. Oh, so close. Oh, it's so close. I'm getting this shit all over myself. Just a hair more on this side. Yeah, that block is a good idea, but it's not quite big enough. Ooh, we're there. We're almost. That corner right there. That corner piece just barely. I'm going to pretty this up. It's not that bad. I think that did it. It did. It's really snug, but I'm going to pretty that up. But here we go. I'll show you guys. I probably loosened it up just slightly, but it is really snug. And it looks ugly in the picture, but it's not really from afar. You got to think that's really close up. But there's the HDMI port. Fits right in. So there's that. Okay, cool. So that is in. When I get my file, I'll pretty it up a little bit. It won't have all that white shit around it. And I'll also just open that corner up just ever so slightly. All right, so what's next? What's next? What's next? I'll tell you what's right now. Let's get this shit out of here. Fucking plastic pieces everywhere. Okay. Jacob is still killing it, says Antonio. Thanks, man. Just took apart... What? I just took apart and cleaned my GPU. You're inspiring me. Hey, you know, it's good to be an inspiration. The membership symbol looks a lot like a Trox bit now. Really? Oh, the symbol, the little star. Okay, I got you. I feel you. I feel you. All right, so let's jump in. Let's keep moving because we're just about to the part where we're going to start putting this thing back together. So drill 2 small holes using the PCB as a guide. Mount PCB was supplied into screws. Okay, okay. Where did those go? Which ones? You gave me 4 of them. So we're going to mount it to that metal shielding. What's the other 2 screws for? Which ones? You gave me 2 that are 2 different fucking sizes. Probably the short ones, I'm sure. All right. So now we're going to start putting this shit together. Is this it? Yes. Okay, cool. I feel like, what is this sticker thing I got? Let me look at that. Tap in the place and you're just dreaming of I don't know. Anyway. So I guess here and here. That is correct, right? Yeah, it has me putting it on top of the shielding. Yeah, there. Oh, it says 3 of them. Drill 2 small holes using the PCP as a guide and mount PCP with the supplied M2 screws and nuts. It shows 3. I'm just saying. Just throwing that out there. It does not show 2. It shows 3. But it says 2. Should I reference our little friend there? So here and here. That, oh, because that's not into the board, that's into the case. So let's mark these. So in a perfect world, you would use a pen, but I don't have one with me, or a marker, rather. Make sure those are big enough. Of course they're not. Just barely though. Yep, that's big enough. I think we're done with the drill. All right, so... Ooh, I need to cover up my alcohol. I didn't realize that was still open. So I'm guessing they want me to. Do they want me to use all three of these? Let me see what our little friend over here said. He's my reference. If there's something I'm not 100% sure, I look at his because he successfully did this. So let's see what our other YouTube friend who has successfully completed this said.
Let's go ahead and set this back in here. I'll kind of show you what we're doing. Can't have any nasty gnarly edges. That's why I prefer the bend. So if you want to count these, you're going to be showing 3.5. You probably could use a smaller one, but
What did he say he used?
So you may kind of be like, well, why is this drill box a little loose? Has a little bit of play. You'll notice that some cases don't have this play. So clearly there was the way they made more than one molds. I've experienced some where this block is extremely tight and doesn't move at all.
Yeah, mine didn't
sometimes
move
it's a little loose. So I usually, if it's loose like this one, just push it to the bottom. It has more lateral play. I mean, we're talking 0.5 millimeter maybe of play, so we're not talking much, but make sure to just push it to the bottom, hold it with your finger, and then we're just going to drill. I'm going to put the 3 on the bottom first. We're just going to drill 3 consecutive holes.
Did he say what size drill did he use?
Now obviously don't drill your finger.
Hey, the same thing I said.
Not really pushing crazy hard, because because there's no need to. So you can see 3 holes right next to each other. Now flip it upside down, right next to each other. We're going to put the two, there's 2 holes now on the bottom. Those 3 holes. Just drill those out.
His drill did not make nearly as much of a mess as mine did, but I'm using a different case, an aftermarket case. So.
All right. I recommend you leave the heat shield in because or the bottom shield, because you'll see why. So you can see that we have our 3 holes. They are partly connected.
I did not do that. Yeah, now you file. I know.
So you're going to need a few small files. This is pretty critical. I'm going to do now, but it'll look like garbage. I'm going to take the mod board. You can see the mod board sits in. Moved on the top or on the right side, but I do need material removed on the left side and quite a bit on the bottom. We should probably file. So I'm going to go ahead and use my bigger file now. You're
just showing off now, buddy.
They're definitely only like $8 for a kit on Amazon.
I've got a file kit somewhere. Where?
The bottom still. All that jazz. Alright, I think we're getting really close now.
Is he just doing the... I just want to know if you're doing 2 screws or not. Is this what you guys see while I'm doing things? Just my head in the way?
And it kind of goes in the hole, but it's grabbing some debris in the hole, so we assume everything else looks bad. This is a 5/64 drill bit.
So where's he drilling?
You also could use a 2mm drill bit as well. I don't have a metric drill bit system. Drill bit kit. I should though. So we're gonna go over these holes. You see, there's 4 holes. So if you make this, if you file this hole out perfectly to where the HDMI is flat, you can use these 2 holes right here to mount it. Now,
but there's no metal
if
there.
you use this hole to mount it, you need to move this capacitor. And by move, I mean desolder it and move it up just a little bit. Otherwise, the screw hole will hit this capacitor.
Oh, hell no, I'm not doing that.
So, if you don't want to do that, you can easily use these 2 holes. Or you could use these 2 holes. But this is the hole right here that the capacitor hits.
Okay.
I recommend this hole because when you mount it, it doesn't put any force. Like when you screw this down, this puts lateral force on this HDMI port. If you put it here, this has a little bit of freedom and won't allow this hole to not be perfect and not damage that.
Okay.
So I recommend this hole and this hole. Now some people may not like this hole because if you look at the bottom side, it's going to go through this.
Do what?
This sticker.
No, it's not.
And it goes through right about here. That doesn't bother me, but if some people are crazy about stickers, if you are, make your hole perfect, put them up here, and move that capacitor.
Okay, cool. So that's what I needed to know. So we don't want to use that hole over there then. Gotcha. Heard. So we got these 2 holes. We're going to mount... Whoops. So I'm going to use... Well, I guess they are all the same size. Do I need... Cause I saw... What, hang on a minute. Let me look at something real quick.
peel this off. It's already pre-cut. There is 2 little tiny holes. Looking for something to poke this with. So I'm just going to poke these holes out.
Ah. See, I was wondering about the sticker.
Like so.
I figured it was some type of shielding.
And we're just going to go ahead and go from the top. We're trying to line the holes up best we can.
It is. Okay. Yeah, I do need this sticker.
That's close enough. Then we're just going to go over it. Like so. Now we can set that to the side. Let's go ahead and
so yeah, I need this sticker. I figured that's what it was. I figured it was like a shield. Hey, it's a learning, you know, we're learning together. It's to shield these bottom components from that metal, the metal shielding that it's going to be sitting on. There we go. Just poke these holes that we're going to be doing this hole. Ah, it's stuck under my fingernail. And this hole. Okay, that's better. Now, we're going to take this. I don't think that we're going to have to go through the bottom of the case, though. I think we can just... Oh, come on, it went through a while ago. There we go. Oh shit, that is pretty fucking long. Maybe I could like, I think I'm gonna cut them off. There we go. So what I've done is as you can see, I've mounted the PCB to the actual shielding. Now, I think what he was saying is you might have to, like these, as you can see, they protrude out a good bit. They'll go through the bottom of the case. And if that is the case, I'm going to cut them off. Because I don't want them coming out of the bottom of the case, but I don't see there's any reason why this shouldn't fit like this. I do need a smaller bit, though. And there we have it. Let's see how it fits in the case, because if it is butting up against the bottom, then I'll have to cut it. I don't know how high up this sits. Yeah, they are. They're hitting. I guess it does sit pretty damn close to the bottom. I wonder if I could just cut them off right there at the nut. Because that would be literally... I don't think that would... I think we could make that work. Let's try that. What do I have to cut that here? I doubt they would, but where's my side cutters? I feel like I could get my like Dremel tool or something and cut these fuckers. Where the hell did I put my side cutters? I've lost them. Found them. I doubt these are going to do the job, but let's try it because these are some small. Yes, it did it. It shot off somewhere in the room. All right, let's see how that does. Mod in the mod. You gotta like slide it in like the HDMI port in as you go. All right, I think we're in there. All the holes are lining up. It's not lifting up in those spots. There you go. On the fly modding. So yeah, you can put it in there, drilling into these holes without going through the bottom of the actual case, or at least with this aftermarket case. My understanding is this aftermarket case is just molded. It's a direct mold of the actual Dreamcast case. So pow, there you go. Hooray. Okay. Yay for us. Let's see where we move forward from here. I think we're just about done with it. It says hole, supply to search on the motherboard for the R16. Okay, yeah, we already did this part. We jumped ahead. So I'm going to have to put some... I got 3 wires I have to solder to the other side. This took a little bit longer than I was anticipating. It does say hook up our Wi-Fi, which I think we're going to do. We're probably coming to an end here because I'm going to get to a point because it's already 4:30 and I got stuff I got to do, but where are my tweezers? Oops, I hit my camera, sorry. I gotta bring my magnifying glass around for this because I'm blind. This is the Wi-Fi antenna. It should just plug right in. It's being a bit of a bitch. Oh, did I just get it? Damn, this thing's being a bitch. All right, we're in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to mount this right there. But I'm going to wait to do that until we get a little bit closer to the end so we can move this around if we need to. All right, so we've moved. We've done all those. We've got the wires we've got to put in. With our motherboard, we've got three more wires we have to solder to the motherboard to attach to this board. Let's see what all goes into that. Do I want to do that now or do I want to wait? Line flex cable, solder all highlighted connections in place. Turn the motherboard over and search for R601 and solder a wire into each R601. Find the test point above IC206 and also solder a wire to this point. Take the following wires and connect them to DC HDMI board where the P1, P2, and RST connectors are R601, P1, R602, and P2 in the test point to RST. Now install the motherboard back in the Dreamcast and put it back together. Say it's really just these two, or these three wires. So, 30 minutes, I think I could do it. Let's move this. Bring our handy dandy board back. Black cable, because why not? It's a black case, black cable, you know, going with a theme. Shit. If I could get it out. There we go. I don't know how long we're going to need. It shouldn't be that long because I think it's just going from like here to down there. I'm going to cut us. Motherboard's like this. It's going to be going. Oh yeah, we won't need much at all. The length of the board at the most. But so that we can pull it out. Let's make it a little bit extra long just in case. We can always cut it off shorter. Okay. Not going to want to take much off as far as shielding goes on these because they're going to a resistor. I think that's what it said. It's going to a resistor. So where on this motherboard are we going? We're going to... Oh, they're all on the same... Oh, no. They are on the cord they are. Let's see. They're going... We need to locate... It says turn the motherboard over. And locate R601 and solder a wire into each. There's two R601s apparently. Let's see. R601, where are you? It should be together, and it looks like it's close to an edge. And we got... There it is. R601. Right there. Well, this has it going to R601 and R602. So here and here. But on here, the wording just says R60. It says, turn the motherboard over and search R601 and solder a wire into onto each. But it shows it on 60. Really? Okay, I'm going to look at that video for that. And it says, find the test point above IC206. Which looks like... Is that that's IC 106? Where are you, IC 206? IC, oh, IC206. Right here. Is that this? Is this the test point? Yes. So we need to put one here. Let's go ahead and do that because I know we need that one. And then we'll look and see. Yeah. We'll look and see at the other one if we really do need to put if it is both, if it's two R 601 and 602 or just 2 on 601, I don't know. Okay, where was it? This one, right? ACT06, yeah. I need more solder. Shit. This wire's too long. Plus I need to tin it. It does not want to take to this point. I don't know why. God damn it. I don't know why this is not wanting to tend to this point for some reason, or it's not wanting to take to this point. It's pretty odd. Huh. I'm going to have to look at that. Well, you know, guys, honestly, probably got to go. Because I'm running out of time here. The hard part was done. The part that I was like really worrying about, the soldering all that little bit to the board, got that done. I had planned on hopefully having all the other stuff done before this, but I'll do another stream here soon. That will probably be the rest of these parts, and that'll go much quicker because I won't have these few little things to do. I may go ahead and just do these 3 wires, so it's just like a stream of putting everything together. I don't know, because I don't know if you guys really want to watch me solder 3 fucking wires again, but we'll see. But yeah, I'll get more. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. It's a little bit longer than I expected, but we actually, I'm just happy that we got that ribbon cable, or I got that ribbon cable done, and now I've got that off of me. I feel much better about this project now. Next time we'll definitely have it to the point to where everything is done, and even if the GDEMU board has not come in yet, we will have this thing put back together and just waiting for that board to just go and put it back in there. So we'll be able to see our final product-ish beyond the GDEMU board. Alrighty. Thanks for hanging out. Looks like, who do we have? Antonio, of course, as always. Brandon Kilgore. Ryan from What Were You Watching? Nick was here for a while. Thanks, Antonio. It's been a pleasure. Fright Films was here a while ago. I can't go back before the stream got cut short, so I don't know who all was here. I know I'm forgetting some. We had some people... Quan, I think somebody was here earlier. I don't know. If you came in here and hung out for a bit, I do appreciate it. Frank was here. Frank C. Graham. I remember him being here. But if you came in and hung out for a while, I really do appreciate it. Thanks. We will be doing at least one more of these, possibly 2 if I got to wait on that board. Because I might just, because I'm kind of tired of this thing just sitting around in here, I might do this in the next couple of days. Just impromptu one day I might say, okay, I want to do this, and just throw it up there. So you might see me up here doing this in the next few days so I can get it done, because I'm tired of seeing all these pieces sit over here, and I really want to go ahead and install them. But this wire right here is kind of pissing me off. I'm wondering why is it being such a pain? I don't know, but okay, that's all I got. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and I will see you all next time.